And it didn't look like that when I printed the first copy. Our copier machine decided it added an extra line on it. So sorry about that. Here is a word list for the topic that we're going to do this year. It's bilingual, hopefully without any mistakes. Maybe you can spot them if they are there in the finish, if you know it. It's a mixture of Google, looking up Wikipedia in Finnish, looking at Ilmia, and my own Finnish knowledge, which is not brilliant. Okay, so you put these in your notebook. Any questions so far? Silence. Always silence when I have questions. So, Ilmia textbooks. Here are the 6 ones. Okay. I will give them out. You never know when you will find them useful. So come and get, and make sure you put your name in it, and that the number I say is on it is the number. Yeah? Okay. Put them in, stop it from whistling. Let's start from the bottom of my list, because we always start from the top. Let's be different. Sammy, come and get your Ilmia book, please. 4011. Nils. 1511. Coffee. 214. Linus. 111. Ansi. 2713. Amalia. 0813. Ruby. 4311. Sunny.
I already have my computer. Oh.
Yeah. Bad luck, get 2 of them. 2 things to completely ignore. Yona. 1711. Siri is not. Yeah, Lowry. 11. Miko. 1111. Isla. 1613. There we go. Last but not least, Peta. 53. There you go. So, probably the only time I'll ever look at it. The contents page. Waves is the first part. Lampe is done in grade 9. Liike ja Voima is grade 8. Serkko and Luonnonlääkkeet is grade 9. So a lot in grade 9. Okay, this is quite good background for the waves section. Okay, so it's good to have to check with, but unless I tell you we're using it, you can keep it in your locker, because if we ever need a book, I've got a set of Physics for You books there. If I match them like that, I hope I won't be, but let's see. And on the word list, we've got the main terms, we've got some basics, we've got things about light, or then something called mechanical waves, which is sound, and maybe earthquake waves, and then the electromagnetic spectrum. So there's lots of big words, but I hope we can go through the topics okay. Any questions? Wakey, wakey. Now, you got a number for chemistry, yeah? You get a number for physics at the end of this. Last year you had one number, the subjects were joined together. So what is the difference between chemistry and physics? When you were in grade 5 and 6, did you know what was chemistry and what physics was? No. So we've done some chemistry. What do you think the physics? And how is it going to be different? Yeah.
Like instead of studying substances and what they're made of and so on, we're looking at like forces and like things that happen in the environment, for example, like gravity, like Newton's laws.
Yeah, we studied lots of forces of gravity in grade 8. We're not looking at substance. That's a very good way of putting it. We're not looking at how necessarily one substance responds to being with another substance. We're looking kind of at everything else. Lots of people think physics is really, really difficult and really nerdy and really geeky. Well, yeah, actually it is pretty difficult. Chemistry is pretty difficult. I think Finnish is hard. Yeah. Some of you will love it. Some of you will hate it. Some of you love chemistry. Some of you probably hated it. That's absolutely fine. And physics is a really, really weird subject because some things are really easy to explain. Some things that you think are going to be easy to explain are very, very hard to explain. And some things you need maths to explain, so it links together with maths. And sometimes, at a very, very high level, words can't explain it, but maths can, and the maths says something that words just cannot explain because it contradicts. And then your head explodes. And this is a response that lots of people have to physics, that it's too much. Now, the way that you will fail at physics is by not thinking. You think, consider, and you're prepared to try and work things out, you'll be okay. You might not be the best. You might get a headache. I'll still get a headache. I got asked a question yesterday by grade 9, and I worked out the answer last night at 6 o'clock. I felt a bit of a fool in the lesson. It's actually something it was really obvious, but yeah. Sometimes it's not obvious. But keep asking the questions. Chemistry is easier in many ways because I can say, okay, salt and sand, mix them together, you get the salt from the sand, you do this, and it's going to work. With physics, it's not always that easy. Our little problem with our thermometers that we had not reading properly, that was really a physics problem because it was to do not with one substance changing with another, it was to do with the forces and the heat energy, things like that. So a lot of stuff we're going to talk about is invisible, it's tricky, but hopefully it is also fun, and it is going to explain why the world works in a particular particular way. And all of you at some point have tried to work out how part of the world works in a particular way. You probably got told to shut up by whoever was looking after you when you said, "Why is it icy today?" when you were a child. "Oh, because the temperature froze overnight." "But why isn't it snowing? Why is it ice? Why is it snowing?" "Because it didn't rain and the rain wasn't frozen." "So why isn't snow like ice?" Why? 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 Many of you in this room are going to have children of your own who are going to drive you mad, going, "Why? Why? Why?" And they're going to ask you stuff you can't answer. But be prepared to try. Okay. When I had my interview to be a teacher, nearly 30 years ago, as to whether I'd get on the university course to be a teacher, the guy who was interviewing me, he always asked the same question to everybody. And he said, "How do you explain to a 13-year-old how an electric light bulb works?" And everybody said, "Well, there's an electric current going through the lamp." "What's a current?" "Well, it's a movement of an electron." "What's an electron?" And he played the why, the what is question. And he said, "Right, do you get the message? Have you got the patience to do that? Have you got the wish to try to communicate it? Have you got the wish to try to have you got the wish to try to understand it?" Well, not always. Certainly not 8:30 on a very, very dark morning when it's all icy and you've risked your lives trying to get to school. Any questions? No, what a surprise, but at least you shook your head, showed you were listening. Okay, where to begin? We're not going to begin with the basics, actually. We're going to go straight into light. And it is so dark outside. So, first question, which I will probably ask every single lesson. How many of you on your outer clothing or your bag when you were walking down the street had a reflector? 1, 2, 3. Oopsie. Okay. Congratulations, you 3. Every week, if that number doesn't go up in the dark, I shall go mad at you. Actually, three of you.
Hindering.
Well done. You know which vitamin?
C vitamin.
No.
B.
In fact, I've forgotten if it's A or D. A, I think. Beta carotene. In fact, it's not just carrots. Berries can have it as well. And that is a chemical, beta carotene. Hey, we had beta carotene in the chlorophyll. I said there might be some orange in there. Some of you got the orange. Okay. It's just it's present in a lot bigger quantities in carrots because they are orange. And if you eat too many of them, you go orange. Almost, yeah.
Well, it was like originally, this was a ploy made up by the British.
Yes.
For the Germans, but we've since found out that it's actually true.
Yes, it's bizarre. It is actually true. It was always kind of said as a joke. So for the Germans, which was about why? Why? Do you know why?
It was like they encouraged German fighter pilots to eat carrots instead of using radars or something
Yeah.
like that.
During the Second World War, British guns were shooting down far more German planes than would have been expected. So the Germans were saying, how come this is happening? What do the British know? Like they could see in the dark because they could see the planes flying over at night. So the Brits said, carrots? We just feed our pilots carrots. So they have magic nighttime eyesight. When in fact the British had invented radar so they could track the planes. And then ironically, it turns out that if you do have a diet rich in the vitamins in vegetables like carrots, which have got beta carotene in, and some other substances as well, it's actually very good for your nighttime vision. Bizarre. Yes.
So now we found Donald Trump a more natural way to get a tan. It's become orange.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. But then the tan would be all over, so there wouldn't be whites here. It would look much more like a natural tan. Yeah, not like a person who's fallen in a load of apricots with goggles on. Okay. Eyes. Talking of eyes, one thing I usually do in grade 7 that everybody either looks forward to or hates or both is that I will cut open an elk eye for you.
Yay.
It's all right, the elk was already dead. It was hunted, and the eyes normally go to waste. But as a physics teacher, yeah, you're going to say to me, but that's biology. Well, yeah, it is, but there's some physics involved with it. Yeah.
What type of elk?
What do you mean? What type of elk?
There are many different species of elk.
In Finland?
Well, not necessarily in Finland.
Okay, Finnish elk.
Well, there are like 2 types of elk in Finland, but one of them's gone extinct.
How is this important to your nerd?
Yes.
Okay, I tell you what. Ask Soyle,
Okay.
because her husband is the hunter who brings the elk eyes.
Can we cook it and eat it then?
No,
Oh, yeah.
no. I don't think anybody usually cooks up elk eyes here and eats them. I know sheep eyes are a delicacy in some cultures. No, we're not going to eat this. Thank you for sharing that revolting thought. Now, if any of you are really grossed out and you're squeamish and you can't bear the thought of it, yeah, and you know that you're just going to fall over and faint while it's being done, fine, you do not have to stay. Okay, so just lots of people will say, oh yeah, grade 7 physics is good, you get to cut up an elk eye, but I've also taught students who have fainted at the sight of blood and the sensitive to that. Absolutely no problem. I've got to admit, it's not my favourite lesson, but it's interesting.
Let's go.
No. We do that in several weeks.
Really?
Yeah. See, you need to. We don't just cut it up for the fun of it.
Really?
Really, it's so that you learn a little bit about it. So yeah, it is all about physics, but how it's applied to biology. So we do talk about sight,
Okay.
the eye. Okay. We'll also talk about the ear.
Yes. Do we put up any-
No, they're really difficult. I've never seen the actual ear organ. I wish I had. I'd be absolutely fascinated for it. But usually, the elk head, the person who fires the shot that kills the elk, they get the choice of keeping the elk head as a trophy. And I'm not sure if they can get the ear out of the brain or not.
Well, just cut a big chunk like this and then they will.
Should be able to, but that's a. It's easy to get the eyes. Oh, it's not easy to get the ear out. The ear is really fragile. Yeah,
Vegans wouldn't approve.
I know. Yeah, if you have a moral opposition to it, yeah. But I'm actually a lot happier to do that dissection here because hunting's part of the culture, and in fact the eye would be wasted. And most hunters are very respectful of what they kill because they're gonna eat it, and it's part of nature. And elk, well, if they weren't killed off, they would be running all over the place in Finland.
And if they weren't hunted, then that one other type of elk, which is still kind of the same species out there, would still be alive.
Oh, were there really two different species of elk in Finland? The one
There's the
that's
one with like the, I think it's from America also that has the type of like, it looks like a spoon, kind of a horn.
okay.
I think
Yeah.
it was bigger than the other one, like the other one has like more spiky horns.
Right. Any questions so far? Okay, let's get you looking in your notebooks then. Let's put the title. Right, follow. In your pair or three, try and agree an answer to that question. It's okay to be wrong. I think it would be a miracle if any of you were right. Not that I'm calling you stupid. What is light? Follow. Is that a boxing cat? It's a pen. Oh, brilliant! That is awesome. I like that. Yeah. Oh, most excellent. Where did you get it? On holiday? Excellent though, like it.
I'm reading.
Yeah, that's just a list of words.
It helps me to concentrate.
Good. And you're pretending to work. Yeah. You can see the pixels.
It's more amazing than this.
I know it's not, I just pointed out the obvious. Yeah. I know.
Just a joke.
Your life is just a joke.
Hey, no. That is a feeble response to a brilliant put down line. No. Aha, we have the first opening of the Ilmia book to see if it can provide any answers.
I call it hacks.
Okay, let's read about light. It's light
Why is it so difficult?
because it is.
It's particles.
It's waves. It's see, it says something about light.
Yeah?
It says something about light.
They are the particles that allow you to see.
Okay. Anybody got something they're prepared to say?
No.
I already said it. They are the particles that allow you to see.
Something that the
Radiation.
particles or radiation that allows you to see. That's a pretty good answer. Light is invisible.
Really? Oh, but it just reflects.
Can't shoot.
You cannot. Okay, this is kind of paradox. The bit that's hard to understand. You cannot see light.
Then what am I looking at right here?
Yeah. But you can see the stuff light reflects from. Okay? Light is detected by the eye. What we call visible light is detected by the eye. And we've all got an understanding that the projector is on, we can see the screen, the fantastic pen. When the boxing cat is going, it's got red eyes that light up. Okay, so you can see that this is a source of light because you can see the object and the effect the light has on that object. Because the light is hitting the green plastic inside there and it's then reflecting off. You then can't see it getting to your eyes. It's not like a big movement of people or of water, where it goes from one point to another, and you can see the water moving, you can see the people moving. You can't see the light going from that lamp, that bulb, through the air onto the projector, unless something gets in the way. So light itself is invisible. Yeah.
I put that in the way to see.
We'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, so light is invisible. It's a form of energy. Energia. That's a really important concept in physics. It's a different forms of energy. All of them are invisible. Heat is invisible, but we feel something is warm. So our body detects it. Electricity is invisible, but we see a lightning bolt, a spark. Why do we see that? Because light comes out and the light is showing how the air particles are responding. And then that sends out a lightning flash. Why do we see the flash? Because the light is bouncing off the air particles or the water particles or the trees or the roofs or the buildings, etc., etc. So we see with light, but we can't actually see light. We can see a light switch, we can see a source of light like this, but we cannot see light energy itself. So I think you can see that it's already getting difficult. Yeah? In everyday language, it's okay. We don't talk about things being light being invisible, but it actually is. We need our eyes to detect it, and we need a certain chemical reaction to detect it. So let's have a few sentences before I allow you to have your stretch break. You do need a stretch break. So light is an invisible type of energy which our eyes detect. Things become visible if light is emitted, given out, by them, or falls on. And there we have the physics of the video that you saw with the reflectors. And if everything is very, very black, because there's no big source of light, when light, like walking down a snowy, dark path, if you are wearing black, which seems to be the Finnish national colour in winter, why? And light falls on that black. Black doesn't allow colour to be reflected from it. But if you've got a reflector, lots of light can reflect back. Do think that actually they should do that in the Finnish baby boxes, shouldn't they? They should give little reflectors or a little baby high-vis jacket, something like that. Or you should get one on your first day of school. The city should provide everybody. Or did you get one? Did you get a high-vis jacket?
I think I got a cap with.
Yeah, yeah.
Look at a yellow cat.
Okay. So, I mean, yeah, the yellow's great because it is a horrible brightness and it's not perhaps a colour you would wear fashionably, but it's the reflective strips that really, really help in darkness as well. And I've seen now that you can actually buy, they're more expensive, but you can buy them with LEDs in as well. Now that would be awesome if you could have like a running high-vis jacket with LEDs in, and when you run, you generate the electricity to power the LEDs. I think that would be absolutely awesome. I'd certainly buy that if I was back out running again.
Doesn't that require a lot of wires to go to your feet, or the tiny propellers that generate huge lights?
Oh, no. Tiny amount of wiring. LEDs don't need very much electricity at all.
Yeah, I know, but how do we get them to work?
Sensors.
The sensors need also electricity, right?
Batteries.
Really? Battery?
Yeah, okay, you can have it battery powered. I mean, already, yeah, Clas Olsen, hey, my favourite shop. It's you can buy for €6 a little string of LEDs and a plastic holder for batteries. It takes 4 AA batteries.
Really? 4?
Yeah, AAA batteries. And yeah, that's a bit clumsy to carry, but you can wrap it around you and it would work. But if you can make a little dynamo generator where you have little magnets that fall. Let's have one more. I can't remember what they're called.
That's the images. You can probably see them from there.
That's it. Treehugger.com. Was it Neo?
Treehugger.com. That's a great name.
At Relight, we are designing the future of backlights. We will change your perception of how modern backlights perform, function, and appear.
Oh, just show us how they. Just show us them working.
Advanced friction-free technology.
It's not them.
It's all talk and no
It's all talk and no fun.
What images?
No, I can't remember the name of the company that did it. I had them in the UK. They were absolutely brilliant. I think it's.
As the sun goes
Oh,
down,
here we go.
the safety pedal will flash bright red LED lights as you pedal.
Yeah. Okay. And
No battery.
it's
needed.
got these LEDs here, and there's LEDs on the side as well. And as you
The LED lights are visible from three sides of the pedal: front, back, and side of the pedal.
and they've got no battery or any power source in them.
It's
So
so trustable as those spike plugs that you use when you pedal. Then they burn after a couple of uses.
yeah, this isn't like this. These go on for a really long time. They're
Okay.
absolutely brilliant. They're really good. Okay, I've talked over a bit. You've got a 3-minute stretch break. One more minute. Now you are going to go into this subject thinking you're good at it, if you've got the sort of brain that is
or whatever.
whatever. No, I have actually been looking forward to teaching you your Wittering friend physics, because I think you're going to get good at it. Okay, we're back.
Hopefully you won't distract me too much.
Just slapping the bit.
Yeah, but look,
Look, this is a complete blind way to move through.
There we go. Close up the.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, but of course I have a couple
We did that too.
How have we got everybody? Not so much. Okay. So, for some very, very odd reason, let's go down a little bit. Sorry. Some very, very odd reason, there was a request to show the light form on the Kindeck. Okay, now actually, there's a huge, huge, huge amount of physics within that.
That's sugar.
But Lizzie the Lizard's more interesting. So, we've all played with making shadows. I'm absolutely useless at
Like an elephant. I can do that.
it's an elephant. Okay. Now, what is the physics that
It's bigger.
It's
Go
bigger.
closer to the light.
gets smaller? Does anything else
It becomes blurrier.
happen to it? It's blurred, isn't it? Okay, so for a nice sharp shadow, we're up really, really close. Why?
Because it becomes 1080p then.
Why? Okay, blurry Lizzie. Sharp Lizzie.
Well, what's a 3D image?
You should think if you like. Okay, how come? Why do shadows have sharp edges?
Because it's so edgy. Green, black, and all.
Should be somebody's head there. It used to be the case if before photography that if you wanted to have a portrait, a quick portrait of somebody, that you didn't necessarily get a painting done, but they had to stand between a light and a screen, and then you just sketched round the outside of them, and then you could have the silhouette, and you could still get silhouettes cutouts done of people. Then you work out that you've actually got a really big nose or something like that. So why the sharp edge? Okay, I'm going to put the lights back on. If there wasn't a sharp edge, the light comes from the projector to the egg, and some of it hits the egg and it bounces off so you can see it. The light that comes out here just hits the screen. From that, we can deduce something very important that possibly is really, really obvious. Imagine that instead of light energy, like waves coming out, the lamp was producing lots and lots of bullets.
Yeah.
Yeah, like on the cartoons.
You know.
Bang, 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 bang. Or wherever it's white on the screen's bullets. But there are no bullets in the shadow area. Why?
Because they hit that.
They hit the egg. Because the bullet doesn't go out. Doing. It goes straight. I know, it's obvious, isn't it? So why? The point is, light travels in straight lines. Yeah? It's very, very simple. It's really important. It's obvious. Light travels in straight lines. So why
Our lasers
is it blurry? There.
It doesn't want to be edgy.
Well, actually, it is still edgy. It is still travelling in straight lines, but because the lamp is actually quite big, what's happening, we exaggerated a bit, if a light ray comes from the top of the bulb, it gets blocked off by some hairs, but not by others.
Are you saying that will sort of cover the whole lamp as it gets closer to the lamp, less light rays come through?
More light rays, less light rays come through it if it gets closer and closer. And because the lamp isn't just a single point of light, but it's big, then you get lots of, actually what you're getting is hundreds and hundreds of different shadows that are overlapping. You know when you've got say two lights that are very close together, you get two shadows. And depending on where you are and the lights are, that those shadows may overlap a little bit more. What you're getting, because the lamp is actually quite big, is you're getting millions and millions and millions of shadows all overlapping. But they overlap badly when this is close to the lamp. Because the lamp and the lizard are, well, the lamp is similar in size to the lizard, more similar in size to the lizard when it's close up than it is when it's further away. So shadows can have blurry edges if you've got what's called an extended source of light, a bigger source of light. Okay. It's difficult to, is it possible to prove it? Then why not? Is it possible to prove it? If I just have one light on, it's not going to work. Which light control switch? And the lights in this room. Here. I get a very blurry shadow. Actually, it is possible to see it. Just about. I've got one very dark shadow here, and I've got a faint shadow and a faint shadow on either side, and that is because I've got two sources of light there, and actually I've got light from the board as well. So I have my. You try it. You try it when you've got strip lights, things like that. You try it. Try it on something white. Yeah, that's good. That works all right. You'll see that your shadow's got blurry edges, and it's because there are two strip lights in each of those lamps.
Need more shading units.
Yeah. Okay. But the main point, light travels in straight lines. Okay, so we get all sorts of effects from that. So if we are going to draw light rays, as you are going to spend a long time doing as a result of experiments, you need to know how to draw light rays. So, light ray rules. An array is used as a code for a light ray. Number one, they are straight. So use a ruler. They are straight because the light travels in straight lines. I've got to try to do a demonstration that I hope will work. Hope it'll be dark enough outside to do it. Okay, number two. Number two. They travel from a source to an object. So have an arrow to show direction. So they come from the sun to the earth during daytime. Not that we've got that much at the moment. They go from a lamp to whatever they reflect on. Okay, number three. They do not, and that is two separate words. My bad, writing it here. They do not break or disappear.
You turn the lights off.
But then they don't come out anyway. Or they do not break or disappear.
So then, what are they if they come out, like they don't come out when the light is off? Where are they?
They don't exist.
Doesn't that make them disappear?
No, that'd be.
Oh, headache. Yeah, they do not break or disappear. They are either absorbed or reflected. So, if we take Sophie's wonderful pen, maybe it doesn't have whiskers on it, but on top of her pen she's got this cat. When you press a button, it has got light up, red eyes.
All this stuff.
So what happens there is that the light is coming from, come on, I want it to come exactly from the eye. It's not playing. The eye, there, okay. And where is it going? Well, it's going into my eye, or your eye. Only I haven't quite drawn that properly. It should go and touch the eye. So you would draw that with a ruler, and you would put an arrow on it, and you'd make sure there are no gaps. Okay, so when you're doing this in a test or when you're doing diagrams, what do you need? Ruler, arrow, no breaks. Okay, so that's how you would do it. I don't know, I drew a really bad picture of a guy sat under a tree. A stick person under a tree and an apple in the tree, and everybody in grade 8 knew it as Sir Isaac Newton. So I must have some amazing, stunning artistic skill.
I know you just do a walrus with red eyes, with a laser going into it.
That is not a walrus.
It's like a walrus.
Does a walrus have ears like that?
Whatever the walrus will put on them.
Triangles on a walrus's head.
Yeah.
Wonders.
Yeah, what was the birthday party walrus?
A birthday party walrus.
Yes.
What are you?
Yeah, I guess you know the score. The whiskers are still the same of a walrus. Now you just go up
That is a birthday party walrus.
here.
There's a whole world of difference.
Yes, do up though.
It doesn't even look remotely like that.
It does.
No, it doesn't.
Well, that doesn't look remotely like a walrus.
Have you ever heard the Beatles song, I'm the Walrus?
No. I've heard of a poem called I'm a Penguin.
A poem called I'm a Penguin.
Yeah, by Jonah. Last year.
I know a philosophical little joke about a penguin. Little baby penguin is born. So he's very, very confused. He doesn't know who he is. So, Mummy, 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 am I a penguin? So Mummy said, yes, of course you're a penguin. Mummy, are you sure I'm a penguin? Yes, you are a penguin. Look at yourself. Beak, wings that don't work, fluffy, cute, humans love you. But Mummy, shut up, you're a penguin. You eat fish. Your poop smells of fish. But Mummy, if I'm a penguin, why am I so cold? Oh, no one laughs. Almost as bad as my cat. Walrus. Oh, come on. Okay.
Wait.
So what was better, the poem or the joke?
The poem was a lot funnier.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Right. So a consequence of these shadow thingies. Let's see if this is going to work. Time to turn off all the lights. Don't get scared.
Oh my god,
I'm scared of dark.
You're scared of the dark.
No kidding.
Ray,
Right there.
I can't. Let's turn that off. Now,
There's a light there.
yeah, there's a light on the monitor.
Yeah, Father, shut it up.
Okay.
There's light.
the shadow. So is it the shadow of the Earth? No, it's more to do with where the moon is compared to the sun. So if the sun is here and the moon is out here, I need a half. Listen, you are an amazing maid.
I feel bad. I'm gonna call PETA for animal abuse.
This is the bit that faces the sun. So that's a full lizard. That's a full moon, yeah?
It's bigger than
Okay, and when you were walking here, where the Earth is, when you were the Earth, between the sun and the basketball, you saw fully lit, yeah? Here, you saw half lit, half dark. Does that make sense? I feel a bit stupid holding a scrunched up lizard, but she's half light, half dark. That's what I want, okay? When it was here, you saw all dark, no moon. And on the other side here, you saw half moon, but the shadow was on the other half, the left or the right. So it's not the shadow of the Earth. So these are the moon phases. So full moon, what are the phases of the moon? Do you know your moon phases?
Oh,
Hey, didn't you guys have to go out and record the moon phase?
yeah,
Yeah.
we did. Yeah, I just went to look at the sun.
Were you the year that got told in grade 5 or 6 to go out and watch the phases of the moon? Only it was like April, so there was no darkness. It was really hard to do. I don't want a video.
No.
Yeah. No, I
No.
don't want a lesson plan. I want some.
Like that kind of video.
No, you get free lesson plans.
Yeah, but they're not my lesson plans.
You sure about that?
Well, no, my lesson plans I put up there. Okay, so we've got full moon
You.
in Finnish.
Definitely.
Kautiku, yeah. And then we have got, that is a new moon, half moon. Anybody know what that one is? In English? No. Well, that is technically that is crescent. Okay, new, you can't see it. But you can often see a tiny little crescent. Then we've got half. You don't have to write these down. We've got full. Gibbous. Have you ever heard of that? It's really weird, but no idea where it comes from. Okay, and then this is actually waxing, meaning it's getting bigger, and waning is going over to the other side. So, what you were talking about with the shadow of the Earth, what's that then? What is it if the shadow of the
Lunar eclipse.
an eclipse? Yes. Have you all heard of an eclipse?
Yes.
Tremendous.
Yeah, then we went to watch grade 5. We went to.
You saw one, didn't you? Yes.
The solar eclipse.
Right. Lunar eclipse. Solar eclipse.
Then we went to these aluminum foil.
Yeah. Yes. If you were here a couple of years ago, there was a partial solar eclipse that we were able to see because it was a lovely sunny day. We don't get very many of them visible from Oulu. So what's happening in a solar eclipse is that you've got the sun and then the moon will pass in front of it. Okay, and it's really weird looking at a partial solar eclipse. If you don't notice it with your eye, partial solar eclipse, image, get rid of diagram. Okay, you can't actually see that with your naked eye because our eyes are really good at adjusting. You only notice in an eclipse if you'd only notice it going dark when you get to about that stage. And the eclipse that we saw kind of ended up just being like this. It wasn't very good. It was only something like 40%. And you don't notice that with your eye. Have any of you seen a total eclipse? You have, of the sun. Did it go dark suddenly? Okay, they are amazing. Put it on your bucket list. Homework, lifetime homework. Try to experience a total solar eclipse at some point. Okay, because it's really, really weird. Yeah.
They're like really, really, really rare.
No.
Well, I mean, like total eclipses in
Yeah.
90% or something like that.
Yeah, I know. But Google's my friend. He knows when he, she, or it knows when I'm not making sense. Okay. 2017. Solar total, 21st of August. And it is visible on that band.
But that's the path of the International Space Station.
Yeah, it's similar. It's similar. Now, you've got to be in the right place at the right time to see a total eclipse. So usually people will travel to. You don't notice them by accident. I believe because of the tilt of the axis and the angles, etc., it's not possible to have a total eclipse from Oulu. And in fact, they're much more common around the equator. Okay. Now this will be a partial eclipse wherever it is yellow. Orange will be better, but the total eclipse line is along this red and darker orange band. I was in England for the last total eclipse that was visible there in 1990, and I lived 100 kilometers away from what's called the path of totality, this orange band. So I just traveled 100 kilometers that day to go and see it, and it was a cloudy day, so I didn't get to see the sun. But what was really weird, I was by the sea and you could see a shadow of like night falling, passing over the sea. It lasted 4 minutes, but it was really weird seeing this shadow across the sea. And the birds had started, they were singing away because it was daytime, and they stopped singing. It just went really, really silent because they were confused because birds don't have eclipses and stuff like that. And then it lit up again very fast. It was absolutely bizarre. What was even more bizarre is that there were people taking photos with the camera flashes on, like it was night. How do you photograph an eclipse? You don't, unless you can actually see the sun.
Maybe they were taking pictures of the surroundings.
Yeah, at night, yeah, with a camera flash.
Why not?
Why not? Yeah, why not take a photo? So, total eclipses, if you live in a particular area, they're really, really, really rare. Like, you don't get them in Oulu unless the Earth's knocked out of its axis somehow. But usually in more equatorial countries, there'll be an eclipse every few years or so. Yeah, so if you get the opportunity, you get eclipse tours and cruises and things like that to go to an area where you are guaranteed much better weather, less cloud than say perhaps here. But they are absolutely phenomenal.
No, it's snowing.
Hmm?
It's snowing.
Is it? Oh, lovely. Actually, it's not so cold out there. It might actually bond to the ice a little bit better and make it less dangerous outside. You never
No,
know.
it just makes it more dangerous. It's powder snow.
Ah, but powder snow happens more at a much lower temperature. If we have damp snow, like you might get at -4, might work. Don't know. Let's hope. But it's not nice out there. And a lunar eclipse. Now you do get lunar eclipses here. There was one a very short time ago, and there we're nearly at break. The moon actually seems to just go red, very, very red. I bet lots of you have seen that. No? Okay, we'll have to start.
Rings.
Sorry?
Lord of the Rings, when the red moon rises, the blood has been.
Yeah, it does. It looks very, very bloody, and that's where the Earth is passing in front of the moon, and this is the Earth's shadow on the moon because of the nature of the soil and things like that. You get this reddish colour, and that's a very nice sequence of it entering eclipse. So you can see the red part here. Emerging. Okay, homework, yeah.
See a total.
See a total eclipse sometime in your life. I will not mark it. Yeah. You've already done your homework. Excellent, well done. See if you can find out where it was and when it was. I'm sure your parents, if you were with them, they remember it. Okay.